Now we will begin the first session presentation. Vice President Kim Honggeun of Power System at KPX will speak about impact of renewable energy expansion on power system and trends of market system improvement. Please give him a warm round of applause. Good afternoon, everyone. As introduced, my name is Kim Honggeun, Vice President of Power System at KPX. Today, I'm going to talk about trends of market system improvement. And also, I think you might be already aware of detailed information of electricity in the system. The market system improvement and the background and changes, and in terms of structural changes, I would like to give you detailed information and how they are evolving. I'm going to go through a basic structure of power market and let you go through the structural changes. If you take a look at this picture, you can see the basic structure of the power market. As you can see here, this shows the supply of power in the market. The quantity and price are decided from the lowest point. And if you take a look at the axis X, you can see the price on different time level. And if you take a look at the y-axis, then you can see the amount. So based on this time and amount, the price is determined. Then to determine the amount and price, there is important element, which is bidding. So bidding is very important system. So when do we do this bidding? We need to get ready the generator one day before. So we have to determine the amount and price one day before to further decide when to turn on and off the generator. So we make a decision one day before for the next 24 hours. So day-ahead market is a very important pillar in the power market. However, sometimes demand goes up or goes down, or it may change. So we need to determine the amount and price in real time based on such variables. So once again, we determine the amount and price based on real-time market. So if we call a spot market for day-ahead market, and to generate electricity, we need to build power plant as well. To do so, we need long-term contract market. So by and large, day-ahead market, real-time market, and for a facility, long-term contract market are the three main pillars in the power market. The reason that I mentioned about these three pillars is that when we are trying to improve the system, we also need to change this important element as well. Before talking about improvement, there might be some physical background. And one of the causes is increase in renewable energy. Korea provides only 10% of renewable energy in the total energy mix. And solar power is accounting for 6 to 7% in the total mix. As of today, 32 gigawatts is generated through solar power. And according to the 10th Basic Plan,
지금의 30기가와트보다 대략 한 2배 정도 되는 50기가와트, 거의 60기가와트 가까운 태양광이
solar power will generate double the amount of the amount today. And according to the 11th Basic Plan, the amount of electricity generated by PV will also increase. As you can see on the dot curve on the right bottom corner on the slide, you can see different graphs in 20, 20, and 25, and 30, and 36. And the blue color dip means solar power generation. So when the consumption is high, we can generate high amount of solar power. And yellow part and orange part are off when PV generates power. However, we need at least 1 day to turn it on and off coal power plants. So it might be unrealistic to realize this graph. So we need a flexible system so that we can operate all the generators when they are in need, when PV cannot generate enough amount of electricity. So in reality, when we generate 30 gigawatts of power by solar power, then there might be some difficulties and limitation. This is a real picture. In April this year, we analyzed dispatchable resources from solar power and from other power stations. As you can see in this picture, on the left you can see the power load on weekdays, and the third and fourth pictures are on the weekend. So we call it light load days, and the first and second pictures belong to heavy load days. Although the demand is very high, PV does not generate enough amount of electricity. So we can do upward control and downward control when the demand is higher than supply and lower than supply. And if you see the picture on April 25th, the weather was very clear, so we could receive a lot of sunlight. And even with abundant sunlight, you can see this bar, the brown color, now for control. And with flexibly operating coal power plant, we can have reserve power and control the power supply. And on Sunday, April 21st, the weather was cloudy. And although demand is lower, decentralized dispatchable sources was not enough. So only with LNG and coal power plants, we were able to generate power and strike the balance. And if you take a look at the last picture, April 27, Saturday, and the weather was clear. And a lot of power was generated from decentralized facility. If this happens, then flexible equipment cannot generate electricity any further.
유일하게 제어 가능한 자원이 바로 비중한 발전기,
And
에너지를 해석하는
not for central
있습니다. 그래서 저런 현상이 우리나라의 지난
facility
지금 나타나고
dispatch,
있습니다.
and the brown
그래서
color
이런
is the Seoul
상황에서 유일하게 제어 가능한
resources
자원은
for control
석탄과 LNG
instruction.
최대로 이미 가지고 있기
And
때문에
coal and
더 이상
LNG
줄일 수가 없고요.
were reduced to the minimum, so we cannot reduce any further. So
유일한 자원이 되고 있습니다. 그래서
decentralized
제도조와 정부
sources can only be controllable.
비상대책관을 구성해서
So we operated emergency response team on the weekend
그런
so that we can control the amount of solar power.
그러면 저 비중한 발전기를 이제 어떻게 제어할 것인가 하는 것이
Then how do we control this decentralized generator?
세 가지 측면에서 접근을 하고 있다.
So we take three approaches.
첫 번째로
First,
유일한 발전 자원을 확보하는 것입니다.
secure flexible resource.
낮추거나 발전 원자력
We can decrease PMIN value or flexibly operate nuclear power plant,
두 번째로 가운데 사방 쪽에서는
or we can invest in new flexible equipment.
하지 않습니다. 그래서 그 재생
And there are resources uncontrollable.
급전 자원화하는 것이 가장 무엇보다
And we can go through price bidding for dispatchable resource.
그래서
That should be in real-time market
재생에너지 비딩 시스템을 지금
basis.
하고 있고
So real-time market and bidding are what we are trying to achieve, and also we're trying to have price bidding.
송전이 굉장히 부족해지고 있습니다.
And we need more transmission,
그러니까
which
프라이싱을
is creating more limitations. So we're trying to
그다음에 저기 이제
regional transmission system.
줄일 수 없다고 한다면 수요를 늘릴 수밖에 없습니다. 그래서
And we also
마이너스 DR
can create more demand.
플러스 DR까지
Not only minus DR, but also plus DR are in our plan, and fast DR is also in our plan.
한 실내를 보겠습니다. 지금 현재는
So taking one example,
태양광 발전이
the red color is the amount of power generated by solar power, which is not controllable. So we manually control this. As you can see in the picture, one day before,
발전기를 얼마나 줄일 것인가.
we decide the amount of power decrease from solar power. We plan it by 11 p.m. one day before,
문자와 전화로 통지를
and we send out text or make a phone call,
2차 계획을 세운 다음에
and then
DJ의 아침 9시에 제차
12 o'clock one day before, and then 9 p.m. we announce a second control plan,
소동 작업을 하고 있다. 이렇게 보여드리겠습니다.
and then
정지는
9 a.m. on the same day we notify control instruction on the same day. However, this manual procedure is not very easy.
태양광이 갑자기 많이 나오면
When we have
생각보다 많이 나오면 그 중앙
oversupply
줄여줘야 되는데
of solar power, then we need to decrease dispatchable source with central generator. And when the weather is cloudy and we lose power source, then we need to ramp up the amount of power with our existing generators. But sometimes we cannot meet the demand. So in this case, we need to do upward control.
지금까지 말씀드린 내용으로
So far,
그런 내용을 기반으로 해가지고 그럼 우리가 지금
I've talked about basic structure in the power market.
전력 시장 개편이
Then
내용으로 이루어지고 있냐?
how do we restructure this market
전력 신투자가
is on this presentation slide.
시장과 실시간 시장으로
As mentioned earlier, there is day-ahead market and real-time market.
발전을 해가지고
And after generating
정산을 할 것입니다.
electricity, we go through dual settlement. However, in Korea,
데이 어헤드 마켓 하나만 보세요.
we only have one market, which is day-ahead market.
태양광 발전기를 제어할 수 있는 메커니즘이
So there is no mechanism controlling the
그래서 가장 중점적으로 추진하는
solar power generators. So
리얼타임 기반의 재생에너지
we need real-time market-based RE bidding system.
아래 그림에서 보시는
So as you can see here, to respond to renewable energy
리얼타임 시장과 그걸 기반으로
in the
하는
spot market.
비등 시스템을 만들고 있는데
We're building real-time market and renewable
또한 재생에너지도
electronic bidding
서비스를
system.
보급하는
And also with new ancillary
신고객
service, we can provide incentive.
그것으로 아까 말씀드린 대로 재생에너지가 많아짐에 따라서
And with the increase in RE,
송전망이 포화되고 있습니다. 그러면서 제약이 많이 발생하고
we need more transmission network,
제약이 많이 발생해서
which poses limitation.
리지널
So
프라이스 시스템을 또한
we need regional pricing system. So we're working on this pricing system.
때문에
So this regional pricing system
설계하고 있다. 2A라는
will be one of two important elements. So we're thinking about two-way price bidding.
다른 한전도 가격이 유지해야 되는 때가
So there will be power generation and sales sector.
마켓에서
So in this real-time market,
제도가 개선이 이루어지고 있고요. 아까
we're making some improvement and also
향후에 고가의 발전기 또
expensive generator and cheap
마켓에서
generators
들어오지 못하거나
will not be used in the real-time market.
때문에
Or if that happens, we will have oversupply.
장기 계약 시장
So we need long-term
마켓에서 시장 제도 개선이 이루어지고
contract market.
기존의 에너지 컨트랙트와 캐패시티
So
마켓으로 나눠지게
previously, we had energy contract and capacity contract.
가격으로 보상해 되기는 적합하지 않기 때문에
And market value is not proper.
이야기를 내리려고 하고 있고요.
So we're trying to
시장 가격이 너무
deal with best in
때문에 기존의
practice.
결정기마저도
And
바이래처럴 컨트랙을 통해서
through bilateral
공급이
contract, we will seek stable supply of electricity with LNG as well. And hydrogen power generation is very expensive, so through long-term contracts,
차원에서 CHPS
we will
시장이 개설되어 있습니다. 또한
we have CHPS
가격에 대해서는
to make up for the expensive price.
현물시장에 들어오셨습니다. 그래서 롱텀 컨트랙을 통해서
And also, emergency generator cannot be in the real-time market, so it will belong to long-term contract market. And also, carbon-free
지금 우리가 시장 대부를 개선
power source is also expensive, so they belong to long-term contract market as well. So by and large, we have energy contract and capacity contract markets, which are improving. And to adapt to the variability in the renewable energy, we're making some improvements
그래서 전력 시장이 이제
as well.
되게 되는 현재의 스팟 마켓, 데이 어헤드 마켓
So
스팟 마켓 시장이
spot market or day-ahead market will have contracts through long-term contract markets, and then the spot market will be divided by day-ahead market and real-time market. So this is the outlook of structural changes in the power market. And the core system among all of this is real-time market. Now, we only have day-ahead market, but in the future, we will also have real-time market. So as you can see on the right side, we will have more intervals to determine the price and the amount of power, for example, in every 15 minutes instead of once an hour. And the bidding market is also very important to embrace all these variables. And we should only generate the electricity based on this bidding. So this bidding is also being conducted in national projects. And now over 3 mega bidding is a must. And lower than 3 mega, then bidding is optional. We only do energy payment, but with the bidding system, capacity payment or imbalance penalty will also be included. So there is additional profit, and so we're trying to embrace RE in the bidding system as well. This is last slide.
전 세계적인 돈입니다. 우리나라뿐만 아니라
What I've mentioned so far poses
34년 정도
challenges for the globe as well.
태양광 발전의 양이 늘어남으로 인해서
Over 2030, the amount of solar power will increase, and we will no longer have dispatchable resources because it will be in oversupply. So we may take three approaches. So first challenge to address is we need to make renewable energy as dispatchable resource. So to do so, we need real-time market, renewable e-price bidding system, and integrated control system. And also, we need to create and transfer demand during daytime hours with high renewable energy power generation. And we need long-term investment in storage and flexible resources. And lastly, we need more transmission network. We're working on it, but at the national level, we need legal support. Without it, it's difficult to increase the transmission network. So, with renewable energy in Korea, we're restructuring and making some improvement in the Korean market, and we went through what are the changes by each segment. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Thank you very much, Vice President Kim Honggeun of Power System at KPX, for your wonderful presentation.